as you'll see this morning, keepgoing.biz provides a highly reliable, enterprise-level business continuity and data protection at a price point that's affordable for small businesses. In fact, we have clients as small as 5 to 10 users that are on this solution, and we have clients as big as 150 plus users with 13 and more servers that are on this solution. Gartner Group says that over 50% of small businesses lack a viable disaster recovery strategy. And they say that 2 out of every 5 businesses that experience a loss of data, like any kind of a server crisis resulting in loss of data, will go out of business within 5 years of that event, that's very painful reality. But the most startling statistic on that slide is the last one, and that is that 71% of tape restores fail. And if it's not getting done, I can tell you with great confidence, based on 20 years of dealing with a whole bunch of networks, hundreds of networks, if it's not getting done, when you get into a critical situation and you need to restore, especially a tape full of data, you're going to be in a world of hurt. We'll drill down into each of these as we proceed through the presentation, but for starters, I just want you to see what these are. First, it provides the ability to rapidly restore user access to server data in the event of a server loss or a loss of your entire site. Second point, on-site data storage server is provided by VentureNet, so there's a local backup of your data. Third point, we have off-site data centers so that your data is protected not just at your location but also off-site. Fourth point, block-level incremental forever backups. That's a mouthful, but we're going to explain what that means and why it's critical to this solution and how it sets this apart from things that you've dealt with before. AES 256-bit encryption end-to-end. The point of that, obviously, is that unauthorized people can't get into your data. Numerous restore points and multi-year archiving. You'll see that this solution provides many near-term restore points as well as long-term restore points, so you can get your data back from a whole lot of different points in time and over a long period of time. The backup mechanism or architecture is block-level incremental forever backups. What this means is that initially we'll go in and set up our server at your location. We'll take a full pass backup of everything on your servers, unless you've told us to exclude a particular partition, which we can also do. But we'll back everything up to our local KGSS at your site. After that initial backup, the only thing that has to be backed up is whatever has changed since the last snapshot. And these snapshots occur every 15 minutes, 24 hours a day. The incremental backups are block level, not file level. What that means is if, let's say you've got a 30 megabyte AutoCAD file or a large document with multiple attachments or multiple linked documents, and someone goes in and they change a little bit, they change a few lines of content in a particular document. So they may be changing 1 block or 2 blocks if a block is 4 kilobytes in size. The next time the snapshot occurs, it only has to back up the part of the file that changed, not the entire file. Now that's one of the things that sets this radically apart from traditional backup solutions that are file-based and simply mark a file to show when it was last backed up, and then the next time there's an incremental or differential backup, it backs up the entire thing. What that means is that these snapshots are small, fast, and non-disruptive. That also means that because they take so little time, it eliminates backup windows. A backup window, of course, is the period of time that you have allocated to get your backup finished so that it doesn't bleed over into business hours and slow everything down. Because the most disk-intensive thing that you do with a file server is to back it up to some other destination, a full backup. Because what's happening, of course, when you're doing that is it's reading data off the server as fast as it can and moving it to the target as fast as it can. If you've had a backup bleed over into the business day, anybody ever run into that before? Your users start complaining. because the server performs very sluggishly. With this, you don't feel it. It happens all day, every day, and you don't have to worry about finishing a backup by morning. And in the restore process, the software intelligently, you pick a point in time and you say, I need Thursday, I need like 2 days, yesterday, for instance, at 4 p.m., I need to restore the data. The software takes that point in time, that snapshot, and then it reads back all the way back to the base image and basically recreates the state of your data as of that particular point in time. I've got a paper up here if anyone wants to see it from yesterday. This is a copy of an email thread from yesterday. And at 1:20 p.m. we got notification from the client that they needed a restore, and our systems engineer asked the guy, what date and time do you want to restore from? So he said, I need the whole DBF and CDX file from this morning before 8 a.m. That message stating which data he needed and from what point in time is time-stamped 1:23 p.m. yesterday. The next email is at 1:27 p.m., 4 minutes later, and our guy says to the client, the files have been restored from 7 a.m. this morning. Please let us know if you have what you need. Thank you. And the next message, a few minutes later, the guy responds and says, looks great, thanks. 4 minutes from the time we were notified that the data had to be restored till it's back on the server. Loss of server. And this is the situation that most companies experience at some point if they have IT resources long enough. One or more servers fail without a complete loss of site. Let's say just the Exchange server, the mail server fails, but the other servers at your location are unaffected. So you notify VentureNet, or shameless plug, if you're on VNet Central Managed Services, we probably already know it because as soon as the server goes down, the bells and whistles go off on our side. We get in touch with you and determine that that server is in fact down, and then our Network Operations Center team creates a virtual duplicate of that dead server on our box, on our KGSS at your location. That virtualized server has the exact same identity, the same IP address, the same MAC address. There's nothing on the network that doesn't recognize it exactly the same way that the old server was recognized. And your users go back to work attached to that server, and they're up and running. We can do that in about 30 minutes. We've done it in as little time as 15 minutes. You want a bulletproof confidence that your business is going to be back on track and back online with zero data loss in an identifiable and brief amount of time. And that is exactly the confidence that keepgoing.biz provides.